Well, good evening.
Good
Prayerfully
evening.
everybody's having a good day and things are going well for you and yours. We said evening this time, not morning.
Not morning.
I said good evening,
Good
not
evening.
good
Good
morning. Ty Tripp said good morning.
Good morning.
By the way, this is totally
You
Ty
finna
Tripp, one of my favorite artists
We're
of all
gonna
time.
start out being off subject.
Okay, let's get back on subject. So we're gonna go ahead
He
and
is
pray.
pretty good though. He
is pretty good.
Go ahead, you pray this time.
I'm gonna pray this time. She said, "Don't be asking me to do stuff on the spot." So I'm gonna
Johnny
pray.
on.
And then we're gonna have you share if you have a praise report, a prayer request, or a testimony in the comment section. So with that being said, let us pray. Father, we are so grateful for just allowing us to assemble virtually together again, as we just look at how you've created us, the different ways that you've made us, dear Lord, and understand that we are to complement one another and not to contest or be in competition with one another. We love you and we praise you and bless our time together. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. So
Amen.
I want to say good evening to everyone. So, y'all, this right here, for those of y'all that don't watch the prayer call, this mug says the world's greatest mom, but I drink from this mug because if we tell the truth, since we compliment one another, if she is the world's greatest mom, I got something to do with that. I like this mug. So this
you like
is one
the
of my
mug
favorites.
because you like that pink.
I like pink.
Real men wear pink.
Yeah, real men wear pink. I like pink. It's on my TikTok.
Well, you have a few things that I like, so we're gonna start doing it. I'll start wearing.
She's
some
been
red
taking
pink.
my stuff. She's been taking my stuff. I've been getting deboed and bullied over here. So
okay,
yeah,
so that's what we're gonna do.
You've been
just
doing
remember
it for years.
we said it here,
You have been doing it for years,
and it's live. So
yeah, you've been doing.
So
it for
when
years.
I do it, because I've seen a few things in the top drawer, in your
no,
top drawer.
that's my money stash. Can't have that.
But hey,
everywhere I have my money, she finds
what's
it.
yours is mine. What's
No, it's
mine
not.
is mine.
Cause
So.
no, it's not. Everywhere I have my
So
money,
go
she
enjoy
finds
that mug. Enjoy it.
You better not take my money. All right, let's
Let's
jump
focus.
Let's jump on. up in
Listen,
here.
last week we talked about the love bank.
Yes,
The love
I keep
bank.
on want to say love tank.
That was in some other study. I don't know if that was in the 5 love languages. Was that in it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I keep
But
wanna
anyway,
say
we
love
talked
tank.
about
The love bank.
the
Go
love
ahead.
bank, which is what Dr. Willard Harley, I keep saying Farley, and we know who that is. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Dr. Willard Harley talks about the love bank, which is our emotional memory. And there are certain things you can do to either make deposits into the love bank or withdrawals. And what we want to do is make enough deposits of love units so that we can make sure that our significant other feels cared for.
Yeah. And see, but I think, are there certain deposits, and this is not on that accrue interest over time?
I don't know.
Is there something that I have done or do that like keeps on adding value? Like one act, one thing.
That keeps adding value.
Yeah, because like, like for instance, when I think of bank, there's some accounts that you could put money into and it stays the same. And then there's some that you put in $500, over time it grows to $550 or $600. But I guess this doesn't work like that. So anyway, because she looking at me like, nah, I can hear Janet Jackson in her
I'm
head.
like, why
What
is
have
he
you
going
done for
off
me
script?
lately?
Why you going off? We have a few things we have to get done. So
Okay, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. So what else did you have?
That was it. So
Also,
we talked about what we talked about last week. We talked about the 10 emotional needs, or the list of things that are characteristic of men and women's emotional needs. Did we talk about the top 5 for men and for women?
Well, go ahead and say it. Well,
Okay.
we're gonna get into it because that's
Okay, we'll get into it.
Because
We'll
that's
get
what that's the premise of the study. That's the premise
Yes.
of the lesson. And so, if you read the book has some in a little bit more detail. A lot of things a bit more detail. That's the book. Right. And I know some of you are going to get the book because some people said, "Hey, we're gonna go ahead and get the book."
Yes,
I said,
and I think you should.
I think so too.
Yeah, I
think
like
so
the book.
too.
I think the book is.
And what I found in the past, things like this give us words to say.
Yes.
When we don't know how to say them.
Right.
And it introduces a third party. Without introducing a third party, well,
you get people to say things that you want to say.
that you don't want to, that you afraid if you say you're gonna be suffering the repercussions of it later
or
on.
it opens up the dialogue.
Yes.
And so that's a good thing too. It may be things that you kind of want to say, you don't know how to present it, or you don't even know how to articulate it, but you have someone, especially a professional, who can open that dialogue for you. So it's good.
You got a degree in Christian counseling,
You know what?
She always trying to psychoanalyze me now.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Anyway.
You're very psychoanalyzable. Okay, let's focus.
Let's go. All right, so we're gonna go to session number 2 in the workbook. Session number 2 in the workbook, and it's talking about sex and affection,
right?
Fulfillment. So how to be fulfilled for us as men, so that we know how to fulfill our wives' affectionate desires and needs. To make,
and vice versa, for us to fulfill that for men. Because I think it's important to note, he said that these are the top 5 for men, the top 5 for women, but it may not be the same for every man and for every woman. So this may not be number 1 for all men. It may not be number 1 for all women. But one thing that he did say, that it's your job to find out what your top need is. This is just after he has
a compilation.
Yes,
so
it's the majority of men, the majority of women. So
there's some outliers.
For men, top would be sexual fulfillment. I can't even say that.
She got 5
sexual
kids.
fulfillment, and for women, it's affection.
Yes.
Yes.
So obviously, if you fall, if you're an outlier, if this is not, you're not in the top 2 as a man or a woman. These are not your top 1. That's still relevant.
And that's okay.
It just means that, we're not average.
Right.
And so, but for most men and most women, because they market the movies towards y'all. All this fake Hollywood affection that they, it's impossible for us to live up to.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
Well, not. I'm talking about on a consistent basis. We're just regular guy. Well, I'm a regular guy, and so.
Then it's impossible for us to fulfill all this sex on the regular like that. I mean, might as well keep it fair.
So I'm talking about you got to turn everything to competition instead of complimenting me. So question number 1.
Question number 1.
For most women, affection is as critical an emotional need for them as sexual fulfillment is for men. What do you think when you heard this statement? And so, what do you think about that when you heard that your number 1 might be different from my number 1, but they're equally critical
important
for each of us?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good the way they even talked about it, just to bring the awareness.
That's what I want to say.
The awareness that's how important it is for you. Yes. So like he talked about a particular man saying, well, I'm not an affectionate person. Like naturally, I'm just not affectionate. And he asked him, well, how would you feel if your wife said, I'm just not a sexual person?
Brothers,
and it's like, man,
I believe there's some men out there that can say they've heard that before. Please put that in the comment section so we can go ahead and these comments up.
But I think that's good. I think it's good for us to think of it like that. Like if that's something that's that important to you, then that's something that you would want, and vice versa.
And because that is and that's really being lazy. And I don't say that like some people go over the top. But sometimes we got to be willing to put the effort.
Yeah.
And so that understanding does.
Or just give it the energy that it needs.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's being lazy.
Yeah.
That's being lazy.
That's just such a. I don't like that.
She didn't like that terminology, but it's laziness.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, just being lazy. Number 2, Dr. Harley suggests that a wife should make a list of affectionate acts that she would consider to be impressive things.
Impressive things that would make love bank deposits.
So what, if you had, what 3 things?
Why is this like turn into
I'm just saying,
an interview for me? But go ahead.
What are some things that you think that will make those emotional deposits affectionate? Not just speaking in general. You talk to women, you know women. You've read books and counseling and all this stuff. So what's some of the things that you think would emotionally deposit into the banks of women that men can use as a cheat sheet?
I think that not all women are the same, but I think we all generally just want to know that we're cared for. And that may look different for different women. For me, it's time. It's showing. It's not just saying you care, but it's showing it.
Okay.
So I love the definition he gave, signs and symbols. That's what affection is signs and symbols of care.
Okay.
So for me, like I like throughout the day when you just call or you text and ask how you doing or just say something, whatever it is. I enjoy that.
Absolutely nothing. we just breathe. Yeah, we just breathe on the phone.
No, we don't. We talk. You know what? But sometimes we'll call each other and we're both busy doing something and we'll be like, man, I ain't talking about that.
You ain't talking about nothing.
Let me go.
Waste my time.
But I appreciate the call. Like that's so much better than not hearing from you at all.
Yes.
So just hearing from you throughout the day, just doing things, initiating time together, those things, and just letting the other person know you care, whatever that looks like for that particular woman.
And so the idea is that there is a list that is created to give us some help.
Yes.
And so, and the reason that
That's
this list is important is because sometimes we don't know. Like I learned last week that there's a such thing as mad cleaning. that you all the 23 years of marriage, I never knew that there was a such thing as mad cleaning.
Yeah.
I knew that you would, while you were cleaning, you got mad, but I didn't know that there was a thing of
that would
mad
initiate
cleaning.
the cleaning. Yes.
I thought that the cleaning was a precursor to the madness, but now when I realize she just mad, so now I don't feel as bad anymore.
Cleaning is one of the ways I exert that mad and anger out, and I get it out.
Yeah, but then you come talking about some. Did you? What?
Oh my gosh, the face you just made. Is that my face?
Man, look at.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I will say something else.
Yeah.
Because I just looked at it. Another thing that I really like is flowers.
I know.
Now,
that's what I was gonna get at.
I did not like it before. You remember?
I remember.
I don't know how I finally told you. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I didn't want to. He would buy me flowers, and I'd be like, "Oh, thank you."
Waste money.
But I really did. I ain't want no flowers. I'm
Waste
like, you
money.
could have just gave me the money.
Yeah, you could have bought me chocolates.
You could have brought me some chicken.
Yeah.
Anything else. I don't want no flowers, and especially like I had to take care of them, and then they die, and then you got to change the water. All this different. I don't want to do that. But as I've gotten older, I like flowers now.
Yes,
but
a certain type.
I like my orchids. I really do.
And so I know every now and then I get orchids.
Yes, they last. They don't require a lot of care, and they're pretty. Yeah.
So that's an orchid over over this shoulder. That's an orchid over this shoulder because I know she likes orchids.
I do.
And so I've teetered with some things in the past, but one of these days I'm gonna get it good. But yeah, so
yeah.
That's just
so do your due diligence.
Yes,
figure out what that is.
Yeah, and don't go overboard with the list, ladies. Just give us like
these are the things that would show me that you care for me.
So a list of maybe 10 things.
Was there a number?
No,
I think it just said
don't go over 10. I'm gonna put that out there right now. Don't go over 10 because some people
they need options.
10 is enough options. Good night. You go if you
so do 10 and maybe put a star by 3 of them. Those are the things you really want.
Yeah, don't go over 10.
Yeah.
And so if you go over 10, you just might be setting yourself up for disappointment. So, and then men, how are we going to be doing in relation to the list? You know, what are we going to do with the information that we've been given? Right. Once ignorance is no longer the issue, we have to act on what we've learned and what we know. And so at first it might seem contrived or it might seem manufactured, but it's a good place to start.
Right. And
so we want to be able to, it's like in football games, the first few plays are scripted.
That goes to the next question, actually.
Yeah. But go ahead. Let's go ahead. You read the next question, number 3.
Okay. It says, in his needs, her needs, Dr. Harley encourages men to start practicing, I circled that, the affectionate behaviors their wives list until they be. I feel like I left something out. Encourages men to start practicing the affectionate behaviors their wives list. All that they list.
Yeah, list.
Until they become habits. What'd you say?
I said list is a verb in this one, not a
And I was like,
noun.
what? Their wives list. How do you think such practice might help a man become more creative in the future?
Because we have somewhere to start.
Right.
If I know that, you don't like flowers, you like chicken, then I might get you Popeye's chicken. I might get you Chick-fil-A chicken. I might cook the chicken myself. Well, back in the day you did.
Okay.
Yeah, I might cook it myself. So it gives me.
I like churches.
Yeah, you do. It gives me somewhere to start.
With a pepper.
Yes, you do. But it gives me somewhere to start.
Right.
And so I think that the list is important for those of us that are not as intuitive or that we don't know certain things. Because it can be frustrating trying to figure things out and we don't know. So it's always easier.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But I was going to say it's also the fact that they may not want to do these things. Like they may not, because they're not used to doing it. They may not want to. So that practice, getting the habit of it first helps. I think just doing things by habit, and then you start to enjoy it. Maybe something you didn't enjoy before.
And then also it helps us see the importance of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that most of us, most of the men I know, a good chunk of them, we don't look at our wives like, I'm just not going to do it. It's like we just don't know. And so I think sometimes
don't know or may not feel like it.
Or might not know that how much of a priority is or how important it is. And so once we know those things, it gives us, so
like getting up and getting the water. That's why I said may not feel like it. Because that's usually the response.
Because there's some people that wait.
But that's the response I get. Man, I don't feel like it.
I'm in the bed, like on my way to sleep. And there are certain individuals that will come in the room later, get in the bed, and leave every light on in the room.
Thirst comes when it comes. You can't control when the thirst comes. Okay?
I got you.
It just needs to be appeased. That's all. I can't control that.
I got you. Let's move on to the next question. The goal is that we as men, that we will spice it up a little bit more in the future, that we will be a little bit more creative with the list. And so we'll take some liberties to expand on it. You like dinner. Yeah. You want to go to dinner and a movie. Well, that's good. Well, maybe this time I'll take you to dinner. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and stay out the whole night and get a room while we get dinner. Or we'll go to a hotel, check in, eat dinner at the restaurant in the hotel. Then, it's just stuff like that. Yeah. So, number 4. Dr. Harley says, true affection is non-sexual. That's for women. What do you think
That's for
about
men
that?
and women.
I just told you what I think about that. Is it realistic for men to show true affection with no ulterior motives? Why or why not? If physical activity or physical touch is your form of affection, that's not an ulterior motive. It's like that's true affection.
When you're doing it with that in mind, and that's your motivation, that's why you're doing it. When it doesn't happen, it's going to be a problem.
True.
So did you really do it because you cared? Because you wanted to show this emotional care? Did you do it because you were thinking about what you wanted?
Both and. Like, let's just tell you, both and. Like,
so
sometimes it's both and.
Is it true affection? That's not true. That's a stipulation.
It's some stipulations.
Yeah.
It's both and. It's both and. I think it's possible. I think it's possible to do something because you genuinely love somebody and care.
You can give a full body massage, and that's all it's going to be. I'm going to do like Pastor Tiffany and put my glasses down.
That seems pretty physical to me.
I'm just saying.
Can men do that?
I'm saying, if that's one of my signs of affection, if that's the way I want affection, can you do that and not?
I think that there also has to be some realistic expectations. Like, there has to be realistic expectations in all of this.
I'm saying, is that realistic?
I think
it depends on what it is.
No, I think it gets easier as we get older.
Yeah.
When I was younger,
true. That's true.
Everything.
Yeah.
I expected everything I did to lead to one place. Now,
and it was so frustrating.
It wasn't that bad.
It was frustrating.
It was.
Yeah.
I was a little, yeah, okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Everything. I expected everything to lead.
But I loved you, so it was cool.
I expected everything to lead there.
Everything.
Yeah, it did.
I'm like, geez.
So, but and I would say this to the younger men, because somebody told me
CBD drops in your drink.
we're going to help out now.
Calm down. Some hair oil or something.
And I remember when I was younger, and this is why it's also important for us as men to have older men to pour into us, because I remember older men telling me, hey, it'll change. Be cool. It ain't going anywhere. You'll be okay. Yeah. And I am. I made it through.
Yeah.
I made it through.
That's all right.
It was some long, lonely, unaffectionate nights.
Oh my God.
Talking about so frustrating.
Are you frustrated?
I was frustrated too. Why you talking?
Frustrated together.
Yeah, it's not good. So I don't know, brothers. You tell me, is it true? Is it realistic for you to show affection to your wife and not expect any sexual contact in return? And if that is you, if it is realistic for you, don't put that in the comments section. The rest of us don't like you.
Oh my gosh.
No, but and for some men it's not. Like I've met some men who
said, I care so much about you. That's not what I'm thinking about.
That's a Tyler Perry movie. Anyway,
Tyler Perry has some good movies.
I ain't saying he didn't have a good movie. I'm saying there's always the bad dude in Tyler Perry movie that's cussing and no good and beating people up. And there's always the Shamar Moore.
With them braids though, they were horrible.
She loved her some Shamar Moore.
Back in the day.
And look here, and they always ones all sensitive and caring and lovey-dovey. I just think you're a remarkable woman. You've been used for this. I just want to be the one to come in your life. And
why did your body language shrink when you talked about an affectionate person? You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, let's move on.
You may need some inner work, Dr. Dora.
Look here. If I need inner work, she been with me for 23 plus years. So yeah,
we on our way.
So y'all will respond in the comment section if that's true. I think if it is, it's very difficult.
Right.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. So you can read number 5.
Okay, number 5. I was still thinking about something from 4.
What did you think about 4? Go ahead.
I guess I feel like when you're showing that true affection, even though it's not sexual, and if you're doing it without that in mind, I think that a lot of times it prepares us more and we're more ready for that. Even if that wasn't what he wanted, just because we see that affection is pure. And I think that opens the door for the sexual part, if that's what we want. But
the problem with pure is that means free of any additives. I'm not saying that is driving like 100% of the train of our affection, or why we buy flowers, or why we... But we do expect that as we make deposits in this love bank.
Okay.
We expect it.
We expect, okay.
We expect, as what I would speak for most men. Or if it's not you, we expect that as we make deposits in this love bank, that there's going to be some sort of return on investment. It doesn't mean it has to happen instantaneously.
Yeah.
Like if you deposit checks today, you can't get the money until tomorrow. We understand that. Some deposits are delayed. We understand that. But we hope. That the store is going to be open eventually. That's all. That is all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So, that's it. So, so that makes sense.
That's cool. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, so
it's fair.
Yeah, it's like down the road.
Right.
We want to turn on investment.
Gotcha.
All right,
number 5. Dr. Harley asked the question, why have sex? How will you answer that question? The point he was making here.
Go ahead. You know.
In the video, when he asked this question, like, why have sex? He was just pointing out the fact that for most women, they usually answered one way and most men answered another way. So when he asked this group of couples, like the women said things like, because this is something that God designed, he ordained. It's a way for us to bond. It's a way for us to connect and feel as one. That's what most women said. And also to procreate. That was
they said that first. They said children first.
She said to bond,
Yeah,
and then she said to have kids. And then when he asked the man, he's like, "'Cause it's fun."
Why you gotta say it like that?
I did that just for you.
Yeah, why you gotta say it like that?
I did that just for you.
And by the way, when she talks for people, she talks like people. So that's where I got that habit from.
So the men said because it's fun, because they enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah, and they crave it.
Yes.
That's what they said.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's to the point.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So in the comment section, why have sex?
Yeah. Why?
That's the question. But that also changes through the different seasons of life in marriage as well. And because obviously I remember, and I want to say it was Justin said this years ago at the when we're doing languages? 5 love languages, and it was he worded it perfectly. He said, "You have, as women, as wives, you have like a God-given responsibility or assignment," and he said, "We have full faith in your capabilities to fulfill this assignment." I said that was a good way of putting it.
We appreciate that.
Every husband has confidence in his wife that she is up to the task and can fulfill the assignment. And that changes over time. Yeah.
Likewise.
It goes both ways. And that's a way of covering as well.
Right.
Because I want to make sure that I'm affectionate to you if that's your number one need. Whatever your number one need is, I want to make sure that I'm putting the effort in to do it so that you're not looking for that somewhere else. So it's not coming from somewhere else.
Right.
And so that it's done.
And that's a good point too. Yeah. That it doesn't have to come from somewhere else. That was one of the things they said too. Like when you get married, that's the promise. You're promising, I'm going to care for this person. And so that's a part of it. And when they don't get that from you, he said that you leave them open and vulnerable to seeking for that fulfillment somewhere else. And it's not fair. And it makes me think about, I don't know if you remember me telling you, her name is Rhoda Gonzalez.
Yep, I remember.
We were at a pastor's wives retreat. Pastor wife retreat.
Hey, this is quotable, tweetable, and all.
It's very quotable, but it's very true.
Yes.
She said when she was talking on this same subject of sex and marriage, and she was saying you are your husband's only holy choice.
Yeah, how you told me.
Well, how I say it? Option. I'm sorry. You're the only holy option.
There you go.
You're the only holy option. What she was saying was there are other options out there, but you're the only holy option. You're the option that's going to keep him holy. And I was like, my God.
So she said, you're not his only choice. You his holy choice.
Holy option.
Holy option. Not the only option. So I'm not your only option for affection. But I'm the option that keeps you holy. Yeah. And same thing.
That's so good.
Yeah. And so it's like that understanding.
Thank you, Miss Rhoda.
Yeah, Miss Rhoda. Whoever you are, look here. When she came back with that little tidbit, I said, well.
He said she is somebody.
I said, well, glory be.
You can go back anytime.
Yeah, I said, glory be. I said,
that was good.
That was worth the whole trip by itself. Go to the Pastor Wives again.
Yeah, I think about that often.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Rhoda.
I just think about it. That's all. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you, Miss Rhoda.
That was good.
So number 6 says, what do you think of the suggestion that sex should be scheduled because it has a hard time being spontaneous in marriage?
I love that they acknowledged that it has a hard time being spontaneous. That it's hard. It's not easy, man. We out here living life.
True.
Kids, jobs, responsibilities, stuff pulling on us. All of these things, and then to be spontaneous, you can't always be spontaneous. So to have schedule, I think it's good.
Yeah.
And I think it works.
I've become more understanding of that the older I've gotten.
Because he wanted spontaneity all the time. And I'm like, brother, first of all.
Yeah, so let's move on.
I don't know what you've been watching. I don't know who you think I used to be.
Yeah.
Okay, focus.
Ain't nothing in the bottom of this cup.
But I think
I
think scheduling is really good.
I think so too, especially
Yeah.
when you have. I would imagine when there's kids,
Right.
demanding jobs, competing responsibilities, different challenges, deadlines.
Yeah.
Different expectations that's almost needed in order for it to be for it to come to fruition.
Yeah. For it to happen.
Yeah, for it to happen.
Yes.
It's needed sometimes.
Yes.
But there should be
Sprinkled in there
every
now and then.
A
little spontaneous.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that's all.
Boom. It should be.
Give me the credit for how I've grown over the years.
When you schedule, we made that up a long time ago. I know y'all didn't care about that.
We made that up in Richardson, Texas.
Did.
The year was 2003.
Yes, we did. But we didn't start out the way we're supposed to.
Yeah, it was for like
but that's okay.
Go ahead.
What was I going to say? Look, we done got sidetracked.
We're talking about spontaneity.
I was going to say that when you're scheduling something that you helped me with that could really be an issue is if you do schedule and then it doesn't happen, that's a problem. So just make sure that in your scheduling you think about everything as much as you can. We know that things happen.
The worst thing you want to do is get your mouth all ready for some hash and there ain't no hash. That's a saying that I've said for years. Have my mouth all ready for some hash and it ain't no hash.
What was that?
Harlem Nights. Have my mouth all ready for some hash and it ain't.
Left a swallow.
I think that women need to understand the difficulty that men are put through.
Right.
When we're told that's going to happen and it doesn't. Happen. Like that impacts a lot of that impacts a lot of men. Like, I think more so than most.
How?
Because it signifies to us that we're not as important as the laundry, as the kids, as the job, as everything else, because we're told this is going to happen and it did not happen. But then we see other things getting accomplished throughout the day. And so that could be challenging when then we get it, like, because things come up, things happen.
Right.
But if it is a regular occurrence,
right.
then it's challenging.
And if it's a regular occurrence, what does that do over time?
Over time, it causes us to say, forget it. Like, because I remember reading this a long time ago and hearing this as well, that the assumption is that as men we're used to rejection and it's okay. And it hurts. It doesn't land well, and especially if it's repeated over time with somebody that you're coming to, that you're opening yourself up to. So that needs to be understood. Understood. It's almost like when I tell the kids something, and you always tell me, don't tell the kids you're gonna take them anywhere.
Don't tell them anything. I don't do it.
She doesn't do it. If she does something for the kids, they have no idea.
It's spontaneous.
It's spontaneous.
Really, it's not. It's planned
but
in my mind,
in her mind.
But I don't tell them.
It's spontaneous to them.
Just in case.
I say something, I'm gonna do it. Sometimes when it comes time to do it, I do not feel like it.
That's plans, period.
Yeah, and she said, wow, you should have told him. But anyway, so just understand that is if
when you make the plan, try to keep it.
Look here, make the plan and work the plan. That's what they say, work the plan.
Work the plan.
Yeah. Number 6.
That's it. We already did.
You got number 7.
What did you think of Joyce's observation that there's often a lack of respect in our culture for the differences between men and women? Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Because this study is kind of, this study is real, it's dated a bit.
Yeah.
But that's even more so nowadays where there's this battle of the sexes. There's this competition. There's this, which one is better? Everybody's equal. And I'm not saying equal in the sense of value, but that everybody should be able and does do the same thing.
Right.
And there's no difference. There's so much difference. There's so much difference. And difference doesn't mean lesser than. It doesn't mean lack or loss of value.
It's we complement each other.
Yeah, it's supposed to be complimenting.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's okay. Yeah. Preachers spit on me all the time. It's okay when they talk.
What preacher spit?
You. I'm talking about you.
You said S. She said plural. I said, what the?
I said the preacher.
Oh, they said preachers. Okay.
The preachers spit.
Okay, you got it. But I think that's one of the things that's real challenging. That we're so busy competing that we're not complimenting.
Right.
And like, I have no idea of any of the kids' medical history records. I don't know who the doctor is. I've only seen their dentist once. There's a lot of things I don't know and I don't do. And it's like, I'm completely fine being in the dark. Like, I have no...
Likewise.
Yeah, it's like I'm talking about, you need to know. I'm thinking, if she got it, she got it. Like, fine with me, you know.
Yep.
It makes life easier.
Yes.
Because it lessens the burden that we have to carry.
Right.
And
it's something we established that works for us long time ago.
Yeah.
That works for us. And it may be different for other people.
Yeah, it's different for other couples.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I drive everywhere we go.
Not all the time. Now that I got Vanna.
When we go somewhere together, 98% of the time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm
absolutely.
98%. Road trips, 14 hours, 16 hours, 18
unapologetically,
hours.
That's true.
I get a good 2 hours from her.
Something happens after like an hour, about an hour 30, hour 45 minutes. The car lulls me to sleep.
I'm sleeping. I heard.
Got to go.
Pull over.
Got to go to sleep.
2 hours.
That's all you get. You get a good album from me. That's it. A good album.
Yeah.
That's it.
One player of the Miseducation Lauryn Hill.
And that's it. I'm done.
Then she done.
Yeah.
Once I heard her start back over, once I heard the teacher take attendance again, I said, let me get on up.
It's time to go.
I said, I was about to go ahead and start driving again.
What is love?
Yeah. So that's so we have to be able to compliment one another.
Right.
And unfortunately, we don't respect the differences that men and women have. We need to respect the fact that if her primary fulfillment comes through affection and mine comes through sex, or vice versa, whatever it is, we have to respect that that's what is important to our spouse.
Right.
And don't make light of it. And I know that I struggle with making light of things that have been big issues because of my dismissive nature. Would you say?
I would say.
Yeah.
I would say. It's okay.
Yeah.
I probably do too. Do I?
You gotten a whole lot better about communicating.
Thank you.
Yeah, you gotten a whole lot better about
Appreciate
communicating. So I would say, I think in the beginning you just didn't communicate. So you've gotten a whole lot better about communicating.
Right.
So that has made things a whole lot easier. A whole lot easier.
Yeah.
You got number 8.
Number 8. What did you find most challenging about this week? Lesson, most encouraging.
What did you find most challenging?
Oh, you answer first.
What I find most challenging? I thought question number 4 was question number 4, that's challenging. Because I got to ask myself, with the things that I do, now some stuff I think now I just do some things, but in the back of my brain, there is something that says, all right, okay, you know, so I would say, and then also honoring, making sure that you're number one.
Yeah.
I put the effort and I put the importance on it that's needed because it's your number one.
Yeah. I would
that's
say the
probably
same.
my biggest challenge.
I would say that's my biggest challenge too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is making sure that I make what's important to you important to me. Like they said, you know, one of my scriptures, you know, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things you desire will be added unto you.
I thought it was Micah 6 and 8.
No, Micah 6 and 8 too.
Okay. All the scriptures.
Yeah. All
of my favorite.
But
that's okay.
With that, as I'm wearing a 316 shirt, but with that, if we make God's things important to us, and God makes our things important to him. And I say that's the same thing with your spouse.
Yeah.
I have to make what's important to her important to me.
Right.
And when we compliment one another, we do that. We are in essence trying to outserve one another. And so that accomplishes that. So, yeah. And most encouraging is that man, we all got the same problems. Like, I'm not saying misery loves company, but it's good to know that.
And that there's ways to improve.
Yeah, that's solutions.
Everything. There's ways to improve.
It's
that
solutions.
And it's never too late.
Yeah.
Like, you can never get too bad.
Like, there are solutions for the challenges that we face.
Right.
And we're not in it by ourselves. So that's like,
yes,
that's big.
We all out here learning.
Yeah,
Struggling, learning.
Everybody's struggling. That's why I don't be buying all that Instagram love stuff and that Facebook love stuff. Like, man, let me see y'all fighting over who gonna strap the car seat in and get up and get a baby about.
I'll take some Insta, Facebook love every now and then.
It's cool every now and then.
Every now and
then.
It ain't
always.
It's not like that all the time.
Nah.
But it definitely should be like that sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think some folk make the mistake of looking at people's snapshots or highlight reel and thinking that, oh, they just always in love.
Yes.
Oh, they just never get into it.
Yeah.
Oh, he just always light up when she walk in the room.
And you know what lets us know that we fall into that the most? I think when certain couples, mainstream couples, break up or they get divorces, we're like, we're just so heartbroken because we've looked at this picture or we've had this view of them for so long that they were perfect, that everything was great. When they break up to us who've been watching, we feel like, oh, they were perfect. Like, they were happy. What happened? Perfect. We don't know what's been going on with them each and every day.
Nobody's perfect. Like, we're all sinners.
Right.
Like, nobody's perfect. So if you think that, like, we ain't perfect.
What?
Yeah.
Speak for yourself, brother. No.
Exactly. Like, I know I'm a whole mess and a handful to deal with. So it's like, I know.
Boy, you so easy. You cool.
See, she being sarcastic. So, but anyway, let's move on. And so these are actually supposed to be the questions for the men. We got. Oh, Lord.
What time is it?
Oh no, we got okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being very affectionate, how affectionate are we as men towards our wife? What would you say I am on a scale of 1 to 10? I know you don't like scales, but on a scale of 1 to 10,
it says question for him.
Yeah. So, but how affectionate would you say I am to you on a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Be honest.
Okay. First of all, let me
like
disclaimer.
Scales.
I don't like scales. I don't. I have a hard time answering them because I know. I gotta explain.
So They don't care about your explanation.
I don't think of them as one moment. Like, how
compile it all together. So
that's hard.
Take over the past 5 years.
5 years?
Past 5 years.
10.
You said I'm 10.
Sprinkled in some 7, 8, 9s.
So 8. So that's an 8.
I would say
that's an 8.
I think you do a very good job.
But that's an 8.
Yeah. I don't want to give a number.
Okay.
I cannot give a number if I don't want to. You can't make me give a number.
I'm just asking the question.
I don't have a number. I just know that I feel good about the affection that you show towards me. But I don't want to give a number because I don't.
I'll probably give myself about a 7. So I would give myself about a 7.
I think if it was a number that I was given, it would be more than a 7.
Okay. Well, in my head, I think a 7. And so you read number 2.
In what specific ways do you show me affection?
I got the orchid right over there. You see me wearing the same shirts. And so we always put up looking like Sadie Hawkins.
Yes.
But
is that me or is that you or is that us?
I think that's us.
We both. I think
over
so too.
Time, it went from her to us.
Yes.
She wore me down like Steve Urkel did Lori.
No.
It's erosion. Y'all, there are some things that have happened. I don't even know when it happened or how it happened.
But it happened.
It just happened. Like, it just happened. Like, it just wore me down over time. It's like, it's like a hive mentality. I don't even, like, her opinion is my opinion on some things.
My goodness.
Like, I don't even have an opinion.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah.
I feel the same.
So, yeah.
And that's cool.
It is. But we're going to keep on with the question.
Would you be willing to have me coach you in how to show me more affection in the way that I really like?
Man, she a hard coach.
But you know what? The hard coaches are the best coaches.
Man, nobody said that when I was coaching.
The hard coaches are the ones that the kids always come back and talk about.
She's a hard coach. Coach me on. I mean, if you already gave me a 10, I don't need coaching. See? So
I gave you a 10 sometimes.
Okay, so that means
sprinkled
I'm about
in
an
7, 8, 9.
I mean, that means you rate me at about an 8 then.
No, I didn't say that. You said that.
Okay, anyway.
I didn't give a rating.
But would I want her to coach me? Mm-hmm. Sure, because I got to learn. And so,
what was that?
I mean, yes,
Sure.
I want the coaching. I mean,
that was fake.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about some people who will go over the top with the coaching.
Right.
That will put unrealistic expectations on their husband, just like some men might put unrealistic sexual expectations on their spouse. So I think that goes both ways.
What he been doing? Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, what's he been watching? What's he been doing?
Me?
No, I'm saying in general.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
You talking? Yeah, that came up before the relationship.
What's going on? What's going on here?
Yeah,
Where did all these expectations come from?
Yeah, that's true. Let's move on.
You want me to do what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on. Number 3.
Where is it? Okay. And I think I do give verbal lists.
Now you do.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was so difficult. You know, I'm thinking, you don't tell me what you want. Now do what I think you want. You don't want it. And then it's like, you're not happy.
Yeah.
That was frustrating.
And expecting for them to know is not good either. Because it sets you up.
For frustration.
Yes.
It's frustrating for both people.
Expecting for them to know you want certain things.
And you don't do it.
Yeah.
Or I do something, I go through all this and do it, and then I don't get the response I wanted. And sometimes not sexual, it's just like a response. And I'm like, oh, okay. Put on over there. I'm thinking, what is this? Like, so, and yeah. But anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Ask the next question.
Read.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Come on.
Do the primary differences in sexuality between the average man and woman apply to you and your wife?
And so the difference was that most men crave sex.
When they asked the question, I thought that was really interesting in the interview.
How often do we as men crave that? And
he was like every 2 hours. What is it, every two hours?
Every 2 hours.
I was like, come on. Really?
Yes.
That is.
Especially.
That's different.
I would definitely say
it's different than women.
When
not all women, though.
when we're in our when we're younger, in our 20s and our 30s, that was not an overstatement. That was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I think, now 40 is like, it might not be every 2 hours.
What did he say for women?
6.
Every 2, what did he say?
For women, he said 2 times a month.
2 times a
month.
month.
And I think that also has
he
to do
said
with
that you crave it.
That has to do with your cycle stuff too. Like the cycle that the women are on, when you ovulate and all those things. And so, and as a man, you should know your wife's body in a way where you understand the different the cycle,
the biology of your
biology of your wife. You should know those things. And there's a lot of information out there that you can go study on that, just to understand what times of the month she might be feeling a certain way.
When you see that gown, that leave me alone.
Halftime, I'm asleep.
When I break out that green
the
gown,
puke green,
the green goblin gown,
I go ahead and go sleep. No water.
That means
no
leave me
nothing.
alone.
Look, and I leave her alone too. And I go straight to sleep. They tell her, "Hey, get my water." I'm thinking, "Hey, you gotta leave me alone now." So I'm just leaving you alone. Leaving you alone means I ain't got to give you.
See,
water
now you
either.
being petty.
You
being petty.
I'm giving you what you asked for. So you want
leave me alone after you get my water. After you get my water.
So, but also I would say that presents a challenge,
right?
Because you want affection more often than not.
Yes.
And I might want that more often than not. And how do we?
You might want sex more often than not.
Yes. And so, but as men, we become more patient as we get older.
We do too. Maybe. You
do not become more patient.
We don't.
No, you used to be.
I feel like I do.
You feel like.
Yeah, I feel like
you get unnerved easier.
I
now.
do.
You get unnerved easier now. Yeah, you do. You do. but there's more people in the house. There's more people pulling on you.
Yeah.
There's more expectation. So I get it. I get it.
Or I also feel like more sure about the things that I do like and don't like, and I'm more apt to let you know more than I was back then. Yeah.
True. I agree. I agree with you on that one. So, but I do appreciate the communication, even though sometimes communication comes.
It may not come it may not come packaged the way that you want.
Packaging ain't the big deal, just as long as it's there. So it's cool.
Right.
So yes. But I wonder how
do you have time for all of these?
Yeah, we do. I wonder how that is for most men and most women. Let's go through this. Do you feel entitled to have sex with your wife because you have made commitment to have an exclusive sexual relationship with her?
Do you feel entitled?
Yes. Has that feeling kept you from doing what it takes to motivate her to make love to you more often?
Let me circle that. Motivate her.
I.e. to be more affectionate and make experience more enjoyable for her. I think that has been a motivating factor to want those things to happen, because like it's almost like when you send in a much lighter term, when you send your friend a reel or something, you want them to have the same response that you had. So you want them to laugh at it. You know, there's nothing worse than taking a friend to a movie that you like.
Yeah.
And they just sit there and think, I could have been doing something else. Nobody wants that experience. You want to take your friend to a favorite restaurant,
something good and you
go to eat with them.
Like
when people come back to me, Pastor, I tried Chipotle, it wasn't that good. I think,
you got the wrong. What did you get?
Yeah, you got the wrong thing. They didn't. No, they were having an off night. That night, you know, give them another chance. You know, maybe. Did you get guac? They didn't give you guac. Did you get double chicken or regular chicken?
Yeah,
you know, did you get it easy with it? Like, you know, so it's like you should want that experience to be good for both parties involved.
Right.
And so that means that we have to be willing to learn to do that. Oh, we got to speed up here.
Okay.
Number 5.
Well, we might not be able to.
Read number 5.
According to Dr. Harley, a woman is aroused by her husband's affection, attentiveness, warmth, kindness, and tender sensitivity. Do you consistently try to develop and express these qualities?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Do you think that your wife would say what do you think your wife would say in answer to this question?
I think that she would say yes, because this mug was given and it says the world's greatest mom.
Okay.
I had a part in that.
Okay. Questions for her. Is affection as important to you as Dr. Harley suggests it might be? Yes, it is.
I can tell.
Yes. You can tell.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay.
I get it now. There were things I didn't get in the beginning, but I get it now.
That's good.
Because you communicate better now.
That means it's working.
You communicate more.
I do.
You communicate better.
I do.
So it helped me to understand. And so there's things, like even when I hear it, it might not register in the moment. But later on, hindsight, if 2 or 3 things happen, I say, oh, that's what she was talking about. Then I get it.
Right. What are the ways you feel most cared for by your husband?
What are they?
I feel most cared for. I think we already talked about that. But the things that you do for me. We talked about the flowers. Did we talk about getting me gas? Did we mention that?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Not even just getting me gas, but not let me get in the car and it's on E after you've had it. I
never drive your car.
Since I've gotten that car, you have put gas in that car.
Oh, yeah,
I'm talking about
previously.
Yeah,
previously.
I haven't had that car very long.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm saying like that, oh gosh. That would frustrate me so bad.
Put gas in the car.
Yeah, so doing that, getting the gas for me.
Yeah.
Just little things that let me know you're thinking about me. If you bring home something that I like, it doesn't have to be big. I brought this home for you. I was at the store. I was at Publix. I picked this up for you. Like letting me know.
Uncomfortable. But go ahead.
Letting me know that you were thinking about me.
Throughout
that you took thought of me throughout the day. Texting me.
Yes.
Calling.
I got you. I
Things
try
like that. Yeah.
I got you. So I try to do that.
Yeah.
Do the primary differences in sexuality between the average man and woman apply to you and your husband?
I'm sorry, I was thinking about something.
What was you saying about?
I was like when Mother's Day, when What's wrong?
Yeah, I'll make sure it's good.
Oh, like when you would make sure that I had some time away.
That grew from like 1 or 2 days to.
You made appointments, facials for me before. Just little things like that let me know that you're thinking about me and you care for me.
Yeah,
That's
I try to do a little, just a little something every now and then.
Lots of love units.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Where are we?
Number 4.
Number 4. What could your husband?
Oh, you read that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Okay.
did we? We read 2.
We did 3. It was number 5.
Oh my gosh.
It was
We're
number
having
5.
a moment,
Number
y'all.
5.
Excuse me.
Okay, number 5. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being very satisfactory, how would you rate your sexual satisfaction with your husband, and how do you think he would rate you?
Well, we definitely not answering that live.
Okay.
That's nobody's business.
Okay.
You don't be telling everybody your business like that. Not their business, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm like, why you even ask me that? You should have glossed right over that question.
It was in the book.
But we really did skip 3 and 4.
Okay.
Do the primary differences in sexuality between the average man and woman apply to you and your husband? Did we skip that?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We did it. So we're number 4.
I think they do apply.
I think they do too.
What could your husband do to make you feel more emotionally bonded? You already.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that. Okay. So, to consider together, do you need to show more affection to each other? You all could listen. Ask yourselves these questions.
Yeah. Do you think? Not that, and hear this. It's not saying that you don't show any, but do you think you should show more? So it's not necessarily that I'm doing something wrong. The question is, can I be doing better?
Yeah.
That's simple. And just because I can be doing better doesn't mean that what I'm doing is wrong or necessarily a negative thing.
If you're showing too much, I'll let you know.
Yes. Vice versa.
Yeah, if you're showing too much
we have time with like, hey, dude.
Yes.
It
was an episode of King of Queens where they were like, they went into separate movies.
Because they had the mattress broke down, they had to get separate beds.
Yes.
And so they got separate they had to get a twin mattress, separate beds, and they're like, man, this is great.
Nice.
They woke up the next morning feeling great, sleeping, and they said we could do everything separate.
Because for instance, you like our mattress up, like elevated at the top.
We should have got.
And I'm like,
mattresses.
I don't like to sleep like that. It hurts my neck.
The older me now, I think no, we got do it together, sleep on the mattress together. Now, if I can go back and talk to the me 8 months ago, I look at her, man, go ahead and get that separate mattress, because you know what? Because
they're together, but you can adjust it.
It's got different sides.
Yes.
Like, you can adjust one side up and keep the other side down. We should have got that.
We should have.
We should have got separate mattresses.
We should have.
Like,
so what we do, we take turns. Like, I'll say, okay, you can let it up tonight.
I slid the mattress up and had the best sleep of my life. The absolute best sleep of my life.
Yeah.
And so then you like it down.
We compromise.
Yeah, we compromise.
So
some nights I get good sleep and some nights she gets good sleep. Yeah. But yeah, we could always do a better job.
Okay.
That's why I wouldn't have rated myself a 10. It's like, because there's things I know I could do better.
See, and when I rated you, if I rate you a 10, I'm talking about now. Yeah. In the moment. That's why I don't like scales.
Oh, yeah. But I tell you, what's going to happen later on, she's like, you're not a 10 right now, you're a 6.
Sir, I need you to bring that number up.
I know this is going to be used against me in the court of law.
I need some love units.
Yeah.
You making withdrawals, sir. I need deposits.
So what is stopping you from being more affectionate right now? So as a husband or and this can be sticky.
Yeah.
Because
do you really want the answer? Sometimes the truth
it hurts. It stings. Yeah. Like
you need it, but it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something that I'm
doing? Like getting immunizations.
Yeah, that's preventing you from being more affectionate to me. Maybe there's something that I'm doing that's causing you to reject my sexual advances, and maybe there's something that you're doing that's caused me not to want to show you affection. Because it's like every time I do it, there's always something wrong with it.
But that's why this is good. I think it's good for us to know.
It is.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned is that I didn't understand.
Present the information correctly, though.
Yes, that I was, when you, like, in the area of physical intimacy, that when you make it too much of a big deal, that adds too much pressure to your partner. And that's not a conducive environment.
Yeah.
It's,
And if you're not reading the room,
yes,
you're not paying attention to the timing.
Well, yeah.
It could
Mess up.
Yeah.
So make a list of affectionate habits to create and a list of affectionate habits to avoid. Practice being affectionate until it becomes spontaneous and almost effortless to you.
I like it.
And I think that's good.
Yeah.
And they said the key is to practice. Because we don't know. It's the practice. And so that list makes all the difference.
Yeah.
All the difference. Something as simple as a glass of water on the side of the bed, getting gas, all that stuff. It makes a big difference. And so I think that is make a list and work the list. That's why it's called a work list.
Yeah, work the list.
Well, you got it.
Dr. Harley warns men to avoid any sexual experiences that do not involve their wives, especially pornography. There are many reasons for this warning. Think of a few. Do you agree or disagree? Share with each other how you feel about this statement. Yeah.
I agree. I think we both know.
Talk about placing expectations on somebody.
Yeah. Well, I think that is a time also to, most men were introduced to that at a young age.
Yeah.
And so for some of us, that was our first shaping experience and expectation of things.
Right.
And so over time, realizing, especially once you get married, realizing that that's not it. And the damage that can cause, because it's basically unrealistic expectations.
Right.
And I didn't realize that was also a problem with women as well. That I want to say, I read a study one time, like 36% of women. I said, oh my goodness, 36% of women. I said, that's a high number.
Yeah.
That's a real high number. And so, so that is and if
that's a snare.
That's a snare.
It is.
I agree. It's a snare. And if there is a challenge in that area, you kind of got to talk to your wife about it, talk to someone else about it as well.
And if you need professional help in that area, then you definitely want to seek that out too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because it's too, and for most of us as men, it's too, it pops up. It's too pervasive. Like it's in nowadays with
and pop-ups.
Yes. with everything being almost bare naked, just enough to cover the small parts. Yeah, that's challenging for us as men, especially when we're so visual.
Yeah,
so that,
and for women.
Yeah, for women too.
Yeah,
because women be looking and act like they ain't looking. Women look without turning their heads. I don't know how they perfected that yet, but they do. Like they look without turning.
Well,
their
men
head.
definitely have not perfected it. Wake up, walk square into a building. Walk.
Man, look here.
Oh my God.
Let's move on.
Neck just hurting.
I got a crick in my neck. Let's move on.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
Here we go.
Number 4 says, Dr. Holly says that your sexual relationship is something that deserves to be scheduled on your calendar. What do you think of this suggestion?
Well, yeah, I think we already said it. It's a good idea.
It's a good idea. That's something to consider too. And these are things that you consider together. So hopefully this week's lesson has blessed you. And what we're going to do, we're going to go back, and once we are done with we're going to compile some of these comments, and Jennifer and I are going to make shorts on it just to answer some questions or to highlight some things. And one thing I think that is awesome is the way that people are bragging on their spouses in the comments. Those attaboys go a long, or attagirls go a long way.
Thank you.
And so, prayerfully, this has been a blessing to you. This one on sex and affection has been a good one, and so we can't wait to get to next week. And I'm about to go make her list.
No. Okay, that's fine. We can make each other a list.
Yeah,
that's
go ahead.
fine.
I'm gonna make her a list. So y'all be blessed. Y'all have a good one. See you next week. Bye bye.